Hi guys, hello, another video for you all, more content with my Quest 2 VR headset. We're going to do some more emulation today with free software called Arcade Time Capsule or Retro VR Arcade, done by a developer called Half-Deck. As always, we'll break the video down with timestamps, give you those chapters, help you find what you want to see, as well as useful links in the description of the video and a pinned comment below. Now to do this is technically PCVR. I need to access my gaming PC, so in order to do that I've got the Steam Link app installed on my Quest headset. This is absolutely free on the store. My gaming PC is wired into my Wi-Fi router and my Quest headset is connecting to the same router over Wi-Fi, so they're on the same network. I can find it and connect to them. So the developer his PC is an i7-6700, so 6th gen Intel processor. What's that, from 2015, 4 cores, 8 threads, and they've got a 1080 Ti graphics card. I'm using the Ryzen 7700 CPU, much more recent, but I too have a GTX 1080 Ti. So as long as you've got a reasonably recent CPU, you're laughing. As far as graphics cards go, if you don't have a 1080 Ti, a 2060 Super, 2070, kind of on par, something a bit more recent, the 3060, it gives you an idea, like for like performance. I don't keep up with the AMD cards, but you can do some Googling to find out what would be like for like. So let me just take my left touch controller, push the menu button on it. If I head into the Steam library, I have added Retro VR Arcade as a non-Steam game and pinned it in my favourites, sorted out some custom artwork for it to help me easily load it from within the headset. And within a few seconds I'll be transported into the software. Right, so just bear with me quickly. I'm going to move to the Pasadena level so I can get away from these noisy arcade cabinets and hear myself think. Right, so you can tell from the environment we're in, this is a virtual arcade, and obviously we want to play these games in VR. The concept of this is not new. The developer Half-Deck was inspired by software called New Retro Arcade Neon. So I bought that way back when, was that 2016? I really enjoyed setting that up, picking the games that I wanted to play, making sure the cabinets looked correct with the artwork, sorting out the video previews so it looked like they were playing. Now, many people did YouTube videos on it and they all look the same because they just downloaded the same half-baked setup that was released online. Lots of people struggle to set it up. We've also got EMU VR, which is free software. That's very cool in its own right, but again, people struggle to set that up. So I can't praise Half-Deck enough for how simple they've made this for people to use it. All we really need to do is source the MAME 2010 ROM set. Now I can't give that to you, I can't link to the copyright materials, but they are archived online for preservation. So searching for the MAME 2010 reference set, you should be able to find them pretty easily. It's interesting they've chosen the MAME 2010 ROM set because it is very old. Some of the games do have issues which got fixed later on, but perhaps they've been chosen because of performance. I don't know. I'm not going to question the developers' choices. So in order to play these games, we've got our touch controllers. We're going to need to have a gamepad or an arcade stick, and sometimes the mouse is a good idea to have as well for certain games. Now your controller must support X input. If you've got a DualShock pad, that is direct input. So to get around that, you can use software like DS for Windows, and it will trick the PC into thinking your DualShock is actually an Xbox 360 controller. So let's just go over what the touch controllers do. My left hand, that thumbstick is moving me around, forwards, backwards, strafe and left and right. With my right hand, that thumbstick is doing snap turn. So as I go left and right, it's changing my angle of view. If I push up with the thumbstick, I've got the teleport motion. That's very nice. We've got the A button at the bottom, which is allowing me to crouch for the sit-down cabinets. If I push the B button at the top, I can now use the thumbstick to navigate the menus. We can see we've got 7 levels. 2 are under construction for us to choose. Pull the trigger to select. We can shut down the active game, close down the arcade cabinet we're playing. You can hear I've got some custom music playing in the background. We can adjust that volume up and down here. And we've got the smooth rotation, which has recently been added. Now that, as far as I'm concerned, should be the default, because it's much easier to just gradually turn with the thumbstick and get lined up with these cabinets. So we can see the X-Men 6-player cabinet there, 6 characters to choose from. Unfortunately, we can only select 4 of them at the moment. Hopefully the developer can figure something out. But we can see the marquee across the top. We've got dual screens get a nice ultra wide screen to play the game on. It looks very, very good. In order to play it, I need to walk up, take my right touch controller, I'm going to reach down, think of it as in putting in a coin, and pull the grip button. So that's gone off the video preview, faking that it was playing to actually playing the game. If I want to pick a character, instead of pulling the grip button, I'm going to pull the trigger finger, so it's gone 2, 3 or 4, and that corresponds to the characters. So let me just put the left touch controller down, grab my arcade stick, so the select button is added coins for Cyclops. If I pull that trigger on the touch controller again, that's 2, so this will now be Colossus. Pull it again, 3 will be Wolverine, see that lights up. One more time is player 4 for Storm, so as I push the coins, there we go. So let's, Cyclops will do. I'll just put my touch controller down, press a button on my arcade stick, and we'll load it up. Now we do have some little niggling issues, known problems. So I've said especially with the Quest 2, the CRT scanline effects are really exaggerated. Now it's not game breaking, it is a little bit distracting, but even still, the cabinet looks fantastic. It does play really, really well. It's not really putting me off too much. So you can see I'm moving around using the arcade stick, and I've got 6 buttons. Although there's 8 on my actual stick, only 6 are in use. That's more than enough for most of these games. So yeah, a long time since I played this. They're kind of basic, but this is what it was back in the day. Very nostalgic. So let's put the arcade stick down, pick up my touch controllers, bring up the menu, and I'll shut down the active game. So having read the instructions, as everybody should do, RTFM, I do know that Mortal Kombat, if I try to play that, it will crash the software, so we won't load that. You see Captain America there, there's the Aliens arcade game. They couldn't use Sigourney Weaver's likeness, so yeah, that is supposed to be Ripley, even though it doesn't look like her. Got Contra there, Street Fighter 2, the Championship Edition, Carrier Air Wing, Quicks there. So this Asteroids cabinet, that looks brilliant. Not just because of the marquee across the top, but we've got the stickers on the screen as well. So I'm getting that 3D effect because we're in VR. Got the CRT screen, but yeah, it just looks like the genuine article. These textures are superb. So we see we've got the Turtles in Time. Again, a choice of characters, Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello and Raphael. We've been over how to do that with the X-Men, but of course 4 players we can access all of those, no problems whatsoever. We've got Mario there, got some Pac-Man. I think one of these crashes as well, it might be Pac-Man Plus. Super Contra there, Defender, Moon Patrol, classics everywhere you look. Galaga, Double Dragon, got the Donkey Kong cabinets there. There's a little TV up in the corner playing an episode of The Fall Guy, no sound. I'd really like to change that. I might want to put up some Guns N' Roses music videos that would have been on MTV in the 90s, but I'm not complaining what the developer's done. This all looks brilliant. All these Pac-Man tables, cabinets available to play. Right, so let's bring up the menu. We'll go to the first level. Let's turn down the custom music. Right, so we see we've got another Turtles cabinet to play. Again, choice of characters. Battletoads, again, choice of characters. Got Shadow Dancer there, Ninja that has a wolf that we can sick on people. Very cool. Ninja Gaiden, not the game you're necessarily thinking of. This is the retro one. I think it was known by Shadow Warriors as well. I used to play this on the Commodore Amiga a lot as a kid. There's the Simpsons cabinet. Again, choice of characters. We know how to choose that. Gauntlet 1 and 2. Again, choice of characters. Got Bucky O'Hare there. Jungle Hunt, Rambo 3, Tetris. Now we start to get to the Sega Aero City cabinets. Now they don't look as fancy because they don't have artwork slapped all over them. But that's how they would look. It's like a Jap spec, very clean look, what would have been in the Japanese arcades. They had a 26-inch monitor on them. These are really great for the vertical layout. Many of the games will be what we call shmups, shoot 'em ups. Not as in a first-person shooter, but you tend to be moving up, down, left and right, and stuff's scrolling down at you. So we want the portrait, not landscape aspect. You want that vertical real estate. So a lot of the cave games will be a vertical layout. So it's great to see this artwork above telling us what the game is, how to play and the controls. Absolutely amazing work. No, we can't drink out of the fountain, but it's still nice to see this stuff. So what we've got there, Macross, which was an anime. I knew it as Robotech back in the day. There's a kid, there's R-Type. Used to play that to death. Right, let's do the 4th level. More of an industrial feeling with all this brickwork, exposed brickwork. These look like vinyl record covers stuck up on the wall. They all look incredibly good. No, can't go through the door to the toilets. Got a change machine there, so I can hear Street Fighter 3rd Strike. I did do a cheeky little playtest video the other day, so just let that load up real quick. Let's get the arcade stick. So it does say in the instructions, some of these games, they do need to kind of be installed, run one time and wait, and then it's basically done. So do read the instructions, don't complain things don't work. Always read the manual. Let's go with Ken. For some reason when I do recordings it always seems to angle the view. I don't know whether I've got a dodgy neck or what, but it looks straight on to me in the headset. See if we can throw them when they get up. Right, so we can close that down.
Into the heat of battle. Go for it.
And just walk away. See what else we've got to play. That's a nice little touch, all of these marquees up on the wall. So I've got Marvel vs Capcom there. So the Neo Geo games, you will need the Neo Geo BAS file, the zip file, which is, funnily enough, called Neo Geo. So you see a lot of these shmup style games, which are very fun to play. Another Capcom game. So back in the day we had the Capcom Play system, 1, 2 and 3. So we've got the Aliens versus Predator. Let's have a little look at that. I don't think it's like widely regarded as a good game, but it's got the Aliens and Predator in it, so you've got to play it. So we'll skip the intro. Just figuring out which buttons have been mapped to what on my arcade stick. So eventually I should get a power up which will just let me go crazy with the shoulder cannon. Pick up the food to restore the health. There's the super. Time to shoot them down. Pick up the disc. You get the idea. Right, let's get those touch controllers again. And shut down the cabinet. So whilst I'm sat down, I can use the plus and minus keys on the keyboard to, raise and lower the chair. So is it the 5th level we're looking at now? So I can hear that Street Fighter 2 theme song straight away. It's unmistakable. When I set up New Retro Arcade Neon, I called it Street Fighter Corner near the whack-a-mole machine. I had so many variations of Street Fighter, including Marvel vs. Capcom, because it had the Street Fighter characters. But yeah, everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, classic games. Golden Axe there, a lot of fun. Altered Beast, Double Dragon. So we've got Ikari Warriors there, and it's great the level of detail that they're even showing that it uses the rotary joysticks. Not only do you move them left, right, up and down, but you twist them, and that would turn your character for aiming. So let's get this one started. Grab the stick. So I've got a feeling we're going to move with the stick, and RB and right trigger will rotate our character. We'll have a button for grenades and a button to shoot, no doubt. So let's just see what happens. So I'm shooting. So what's that? RB going counterclockwise, right trigger. So this would actually, I think, be easier if I was using a gamepad than the actual stick, because RB and RT are actual face buttons on the stick itself. But that's not the developer's fault, that's me using an arcade stick. So we can shut Ikari Warriors down. Victory Road there, POW, Prisoner of War, Shinobi there, another Sega classic. That cabinet looks fantastic. Rygar there, used to play that on the Amiga. So we've got Ghouls and Ghosts, Aero Fighters, Batman. So levels 2 and 3 are under construction. We haven't got access to those yet. We'll go to the 6th level. Some great posters on the wall. Even the reflections we're getting off the lights. Unreal Engine's awesome. So other games can we see that I might recognise? So we've got Arkanoid there. Gun Force. Ah, it looks like Midnight Resistance. So this is another one like Ikari Warriors that would have had those rotating joysticks. So what some people like to do is actually have the joystick rotate your aim, and then use a button to move left and a button to move right and a button to jump and a button to fire for Midnight Resistance. But I'm not going to judge the developer. We've all got our own ideas what's a good control scheme. We can press tab, bring up the main options. Let's just show that real quick. Oh, I've got to play the game first. That does help. So if I press tab now, there we go. It's brought up the main options. So we can bind the controls for this game and change them if we want. So we shut that cabinet down. Dragon Blaze there. So I could literally spend all day here, well, until the Quest 2 headset battery dies, whichever comes first. So we've got a Robocop there. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Samurai Showdown. What's that? Marvel Superheroes. Brilliant. Right, so that leaves the Pasadena level we've already looked at. So before I leave you, I'll just point out a new feature is having custom music playing in the background. So I'll turn the volumes back up. So for extra nostalgic effect, what I've done is copy across mixtapes from what I would have listened to in the 90s as a kid. So there was raves that we would go to, whether it's Dreamscape, Helter Skelter, Desire. They would have all kinds of different DJs that specialised in different types of music, whether it be jungle, drum and bass, happy hardcore, techno, or what have you. And they would sell these tape packs. They'd record the event, and we would share them with our friends. One would be Helter Skelter, somewhat like Dreamscape and go, oh, this was a really good set, listen to this one. So what the developer's done, there's folders done by year, so each level accesses certain folders by a year. So rather than do music from years, I'm just focusing on what level is going to load from which folder. So this is Dr. S. Gasho playing at Desire in 1996. I can have drum and bass on the Pasadena level. Level 1 could be happy hardcore or whatever. He said don't put in too many MP3 files, it'll affect performance, but I can literally have one MP3 file play for 20-30 minutes doing a set. So this is extra nostalgic value for me, not just seeing these classic arcade games that I would have played, but listening to the music that I would have had on my Walkman as I walk around the arcade. So I think we'll leave it there, guys. I will do another video because I think I can help you a little bit further. As easy as the developers made this to play, there's some things you might want to know about. I've mentioned DS for Windows. You might want to know about using symlinks to get the games into the ROMs folder. So I like to keep them on a separate drive, and I don't need to copy 40 gigs worth of files across just for them to play in this software. There's all kinds of little things we can go over to help you out, so look out for that. I'll add it in the descriptions with the other links in the future. So have a great day, guys. Have a great evening, whatever it is you choose to do after watching this, and as always, I shall see you when I see you next. Ciao for now.